it wouldn't be fair if the coaches tell the guys they're close. They're not even in the stratosphere. It's just a really bad team out there. You got drops all over the place. No protection for the O-line, no run game, no pass rush. And with that combination, you're going to lose on a very consistent basis. No accuracy there by Trevor, a lot of inaccurate balls, inaccurate throws. The defense, they took total advantage of a depleted secondary, a team that's just hurting all across the board. So Buffalo did what they were supposed to do. They went out there, they spanked the Jags as they needed. Pretty big-time embarrassment. Hopefully the guys can get back to the drawing board, try to muster up some character, and get ready for the game next week, because this one's a wrap.
Fred, I think that what makes this one so much worse, in my opinion, is this is not an expansion era Jags team. This is not a Gus Bradley rebuilding era Jags team. This is a team that the owner declared the most talented in team history. Now, I didn't agree with him when he said it at the time, but that sentiment told you what his level of expectation was. Like, we've paid the money. We've brought in the players he told us to bring in. This team is built, at least built enough to compete in the AFC South. And that, to me, Fred, is what makes this more disappointing than some of those historic blowout losses we've seen in the past.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, if you said a little louder, expectations come with when you stroke the checkbook that way. You know, you've paid probably the most. This might be the most expensive roster in terms of total dollars over the next couple of years with the money you brought in with Gabe, with Tyson, Trevor alone, across the defensive front. So, I mean, expectations come with that, you know, and it can be a sense of false expectations. It's the same players. I mean, Trevor's the same guy who has the most turnovers since he started in 2021. He's lost his last 8 games. You know, all that stuff like that, there's consistency in that. So until you shake that buzz off, you're going to get the same results. And, the defensive line, they showed some glimpses in week 1. I thought they were ready to put it together. Last week they had spurts there. Tonight they were non-existent. And again, Josh Allen, an MVP front runner, in my opinion, only in 3 weeks in, he's back to form, and he exposed that secondary. He exposed the front. And this team has a very long way to go.
Fred Taylor with us on the line. Jaguars postgame coming up. Bucky Brooks in Buffalo with head coach Doug Peterson, and he'll visit with the media first and then head down the hallway. We'll have that for you live coming up shortly. Yeah, the defense had no answers. I mean, Fred, there were guys running wide open in the secondary early in this game, and like running backs going for 15, 20 a pop and throws into the flat. I mean, it just complete I guess, I don't know, I'd have to go back obviously and look at it, but just not even close to some of these receivers, which just seemed a little bit out of sorts.
Yeah, JP, you're only going to look at it to remind yourself that you're not living a nightmare. I mean, you saw what you saw, and we all saw it. The other night I was watching Colorado in their game versus Baylor. Similar situation. You want to put the personnel out there and run man, which is your scheme, but you don't have a pass rush to run man. You have to be able to get after the passer if you're going to run heavy man coverage. The Jags tried to do that, and they were exposed. A lot of crossing routes, a lot of multiple level routes, and Josh took total advantage of those crossers that he was given. And then when it came to zone, I mean, he just pretty much just sat there without a rush, and you get a chance to go through all your progressions, in which he did, and he made his throws, and the receivers caught the balls that they were supposed to catch. Whereas on the flip side, the receivers dropped the ball for Trevor when he did put it on him. The routes weren't clean. There was some stumbling and bumbling, and it looked like a really bad I don't want to call them a college team. They're a pro team, but they look really bad.
Plenty ahead. Plenty more with Fred Taylor as well after a Bills blowout win over the Jaguars, 47-10. We're out to Bucky Brooks. He's standing by in Buffalo to visit with head coach Doug Peterson. This is Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Jaguars fans, huddle up for the best defense against expensive car repairs, CarShield. Score big with the nation's #1 automotive protection company, CarShield. They offer affordable plans covering repairs on up to 5,000 parts and systems in your car, truck, or SUV. Don't miss any Jaguars action this season with a car breakdown. Call 800-471-1223. Coverage varies by plans. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor, Brian Sexton coming up shortly. We're at the Hyundai Studios. Mike and I, Fred Taylor on the phone line after a 47-10 Bills beat down of the Jaguars, and they could have put up any number they wanted tonight. We've talked a little bit about the defensive performance, but let's get back into the offensive side of things. Fred, Trevor Lawrence, 21 of 38, 178 yards, had a touchdown, threw an awful interception, and that's going to be the prevailing storyline on the offensive side of what is up with Trevor Lawrence. Yes, the offense as a whole, but it starts with number 16. So I'll ask you first, Fred, what's up with Trevor Lawrence?
You know, JP, man, if I had the answers, I would give them to Trevor, and I'm sure he would play better. It's a combination of things. You have a mixture of, no running game there. The offensive line, they are not protecting him in any way, shape, or form. He's not able to step out. We've seen where he's flushed from the pocket, and he's run down or chased from behind, where he's either taking a sack or making an ill-advised throw while he's on the move. So they can block better, because I know Trevor would step up in the pocket. We know he's gutsy. He's a leader. He has all the essentials. He has the tools. He just has to, when he is in the pocket and he's stepping up, making those tough those moves in the pocket, he has to deliver the ball better. And we've seen the ball, float over the guy's head or one hop in front of him. So it's a combination of things. There's no consistency in anything that the offense is doing. Again, they're not running the ball well. They're not blocking it well in the run or the pass game. I don't know if they try to simplify it a bit where they can do rollouts and get Trevor on the outside on some zone reads and some outside zone reads and, throw shorter routes and then every now and then take a shot. It's still, I'm back to the shots too, JP. I didn't see a shot. You got to throw a shot, like a deep ball. I didn't see that even to start the game, and it's going to continue to creep up and beat them, and we'll see the same results.
And let's be clear, Trevor did not play well. Fred, on the interception, he had as clean a pocket as he's had all year, and he had a 6'3" receiver streaking untouched across the middle of the field and sailed it 2 feet over his head. But He also didn't get a lot of help from his left tackle tonight.
No.
Cam Robinson was like a turnstile. He let a couple of pressures come so quick, Fred. I don't think I could have counted to 3. And he had a guy on Trevor Lawrence. So it's, if it were one thing, it was like, hey, the protection's good, Trevor's missing some passes, or the receivers are dropping it. They're just not executing right now in any aspect of the offense.
Yeah, Mike, the coaches know their personnel. If they know Cam is struggling, which we've seen Cam struggle over the years, then, send a little extra help that way. Flip the protections so the back is released in that way, so the back can give you some chip help on his, release to his route. He doesn't have a big route, or you can hot release that direction and throw the ball quick to the running back, or scheme something where you have a hot read to the receiver, whether it's a go route slant, or something, quick in that nature. But I think collectively as a group, they have to self-scout themselves, going back, looking at this film, and really, even from a defensive standpoint, Mike, I don't think they're disguising it well, and I don't know if that's because you have a lot of backups and younger guys in there at multiple positions, but it doesn't seem that they're disguising well, and even that exposes them and allow Buffalo to do what they wanted to do from a offense-defense standpoint.
Plenty ahead. We are still due to go back to Buffalo. Bucky Brooks standing by to visit with head coach Doug Peterson. Trevor Lawrence set to meet the media as well. That's all still to come. And a final score tonight, 47-10. Bills over the Jags on Monday Night Football. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called The Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC. Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Ranked as the nation's best public university by the Wall Street Journal, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time becomes now. A whole city will rally behind you and begin to believe too.
Because when you believe, the unbelievable can happen. We believe in justice for everyone, and we believe we're the attorneys to help people get it. Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars. Jacksonville.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey at the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville. Fred Taylor on the phone line with us. We are still out to Buffalo. Bucky Brooks with Doug Peterson coming up. Whenever the head coach meets with the media, we'll have that for you. Trevor Lawrence still set to speak with the media as well. We'll, if we have time, we will carry that certainly on this program on Jaguars postgame. So 47-10, Josh Allen for the Bills, 23 of 30, 263 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he ran for 44 yards on 6 carries as well, a couple scrambles, no problem. I don't think he was touched all night in the pass rush game, Fred, and just had all night long standing back there multiple times. 6, 7, 8 seconds, no pressure at all, and could just pick this defense apart. And, he's well on his way to MVP talk. That's already obviously started before this week, but you throw out a performance like this on Monday Night Football, and that will only continue to grow for Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh is playing amazing football. He certainly stepped up and, he shook off the noise. He shook off the noise with the whole Stephon Diggs conversation, the big spat throughout the course of the season and the offseason that led to Diggs being traded. Now it's my team. I'm showing you guys what I'm built of. This is my fabric. I'm built different. And he's showing that. In the past 3 weeks, they've scored over 30 points. But, I'd rather talk about our Josh Allen, right? Our Josh Hines Allen and those guys. I got to give them credit. They did touch him one time. Just say hello. It was a brief hello. And after that, they didn't see him the rest of the night. It's tough to find answers. Trayvon Walker, I'm still waiting on something. He seems as if he's playing like a magnet to the offensive tackles. I don't see any elusive or exclusive moves in his repertoire. I see, speed to power, bull rush. I got to see more. I would love to see him just somehow break out, and hopefully he has have something left in his tank, because it's not enough from a former number 1 overall pick. I just need to see more here in year 3. It's pretty tough to face a guy like Josh Allen and not get a single sack, only 1 QB hit. You're going to have a long day like they had tonight.
Right, Allen can be tough to get down, but to not even get in his vicinity tonight, Fred. It really, to me, you look at the whole course of the season, Trayvon had the first sack where Tua slid down just like a yard short of the line of scrimmage and touched him. So he did have the other one in that game. But, just go back to last week, Cleveland, they got 2 sacks in the game. Cleveland went right back to their ways. They gave up 6 in week 1. They gave up 8 yesterday. I don't understand. Dude, what would you do if you're Ryan Nielsen in the circumstance? I know he wants to try to get after it with a 4-down lineman, but every coach wants to do that, Fred. It's not always possible. Would you like to see some more blitz packages, some different guys coming from different angles?
Look, you gotta. I would love to see more blitzes. One, they have to disguise so they can get home. You have to, pick your moments to blitz. You just can't blitz for the sake of blitzing. Each and every week you have to have your blitz of the week. And they just have to script it that way. I'm sure they know these things. They're the ones that spend countless hours in the stadium. They most of the time they're sleeping there, and they eat, sleep football. So I know they see and know these things. Sometimes it could be a fear of being short on personnel and not being confident to call it. But if I were the D coordinator, I don't care who's out there. I'm going to call what I call, and you're going to play it, or I'm going to replace you. And those guys got to be better at making plays. Brown, they got to be better in the secondary at making plays. And that's all you have. If that's all you have, find a way to get better. And that's by film study, cheats. Even if you got to gamble out there, you got to find a way to make some plays.
Yeah, to your point, obviously Tyson Campbell's on injured reserve right now. Darnell Savage not available again this week. Of course, Jarian Jones goes down in this game with a shoulder issue. And then even Foye Oluokun was out with a foot issue and did not return in this game. So a lot of defensive starters going down, not only before this game, but in this game itself. We're back in a moment. Plenty more ahead. Still out to Buffalo. We will hear from the head coach coming up in just a little bit with Bucky Brooks standing by after a Jaguars loss on Monday Night Football. Bills 47, Jaguars 10, and it's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hey fans, it's Tyson Campbell, cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, your game day is getting even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium. And every time we get a pick, you'll score. If the Jaguars get one interception, you'll enjoy buy one, get one free pizza at any Al's Pizza location Monday through Thursday after the home game. 2 interceptions, a free dessert. And 3 interceptions, that's a free appetizer. Just tell them you want the Jags pick. Up your game and get your Al's Pizza at the game or any of their locations.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
It's not about how you start the job. It's about finishing what you start. The Ford F-150 truck can help. Get the freedom to choose between available gas, PowerBoost Hybrid, or all-electric powertrains, all delivering the power, capability, and efficiency needed to get the job done right. Just another reason why Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck in America 47 straight years. Ford F-150, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios at the Miller Electric Center. Fred Taylor on the phone line with us. Still out to Bucky Brooks in Buffalo, standing by to visit with head coach Doug Peterson. We'll have that for you when it happens. PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jags, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. Final score 47-10. Bills over the Jaguars. The Bills now 3-0. The Jags are not. They are 0-3. And it was certain. I mean, we talked about it at halftime, Mike. It was the worst half of football I've seen the Jaguars play. And we were going back through some of the just off the top of the head moments in Jaguars history, blowout performances the wrong way, things like that. And you know, the guys on the broadcast talked about the game in Detroit in the early days, in 95, I guess. And then we were thinking about the Patriots game back in 2015 or 16. It was 51 to whatever the heck it was. It didn't matter. Patriots scored on every drive in that game except the kneel down. The game in London, San Francisco. There's a few that stand out. But as you made the point right off the top of this show, none of those teams were expected to compete. They were in rebuilding mode or expansion mode. This is a team that is supposedly ready to win and compete now, and they did far from that today, Fred. And here we are, 47-10, trying to pick up the pieces.
Hey, look, it happens. You know, I want to be fair where fair is due. It happens. 1998, I believe we're somewhere in the middle of the season. We lost 50-10 at Minnesota, the worst loss I ever been a part of in my career, in my pro career. And we had a really good team that year, made it to the divisional round, lost to the Jets in a close game. But we were rolling, and I think we were 11-5. in the regular season. So, and there were high hopes and expectations for that 98 team as well. Similar to this team, you know, they have a franchise quarterback in place. They went and got the receivers. We thought, okay, maybe this receiving core can be one of the better receiving cores that they've had in some time here in Jacksonville. They went and got a revamped defense. You just had one of your sack masters from a year ago finished in the top of sacks at his position. Got a new D coordinator. So they put all the pieces in place, got a secondary that you thought could get the job done. And, you know, unfortunately, things aren't falling the way they are supposed to fall in place and all across the board. That's the beauty of it.
You know, you hate to say it, but this is the reality of it is this is who we are right now, and we're not a very good football team, and we gotta get it fixed. We got to come up with some answers, and we got to do it in a hurry.
What was it that you saw that sort of went wrong from the start and didn't seem to get going?
I mean, just kind of the same things, right? I mean, some. Yeah, just wasn't good.
It was 13-3 pass to run early on Buffalo's first two drives. Most flats or screens. Did that catch you guys by surprise?
No, that's kind of what their offense has been, you know, this year, and you know they've executed it well, and a lot of things come off of that, and you know they did a good job, you know, of executing, you know, their offense.
Where's Trevor's confidence level right now?
I would, you know, if he's like me right now, I mean, we're all kind of down, right? You know, and probably not very high. You know, we just got to keep working and keep, you know, keep pushing and work our way out of it.
Other than that, I mean, what are the fixes you can make or immediate changes, things you can do?
So we got to look at the tape, and we got to decide this week on a short week, you know, some of those answers.
So you stick with what you're trying to do, or I mean, you can't rip everything up, but you just have to keep trying to figure out what you want to do as a game plan, or can you go in an opposite direction?
Well, I don't necessarily think you go in an opposite direction. You've invested a lot of time, but there has to be changes, whether it's play design, personnel, everything's on the table. Let's call it, right? And those are all things that we have to, you know, I have to look at. We have to look at as a staff and make the adjustments.
Is it will help us to see these guys not responding to whatever you guys are trying to do?
It's not for lack of effort or trying and all of that. I just think that sometimes you just have to get out of your own way, right? And we just keep digging ourselves in a hole early and can't seem to dig our way out of it, you know, especially, you know, as one-sided as this game was today.
Since you're asked about confidence, but don't choose no confidence until somebody does something and nobody's really doing.
I mean, it's kind of human nature when you get down so fast. Now you're waiting for something to happen, and you know, it's a hard position to be in, and you know, we have to be on the other side of it. We've got to make things happen earlier than later.
You haven't been on the 3, I don't think, in your coaching career, but you guys a couple years ago were 3-7. You got crushed in one of those games by Detroit. Were you lean on some of the stuff that you were able to figure out, or is this a different animal?
No, I mean, you definitely have to look back and see what got you through certain tough times, you know, and you just, it's a week-to-week deal, and we're 3 weeks in. We're not very good right now, you know, and we got to We got 2 division games coming up back to back, and I tell you this, no one's going to feel sorry for us, right? I mean, this is who we are right now, and it's not very good, right? And we have to be honest, with ourselves, and I've got to be honest with myself, and just keep plugging away.
You said everything's on the table when you talk about personnel changes. Does that include, every starter, or does that include the quarterback potentially, or not?
I mean, you say everything's on. We got to take a look at injury. Tonight we had some guys injured. Could be moves that way. It could be performance. It's all things we have to evaluate as we move forward.
What do you know about Foye, Jari, and Tom?
Yeah, we'll know more. Jarian's shoulder, Foye's foot. Gabe came out late with a shoulder that he injured last week. So, all things that I just don't know the status. I just know they were hurt and didn't go back, in the game. So we'll figure out that as the week goes.
So there's something. Okay. I know you've been doing this a long time, but at a time like this, do you even start losing a little bit of your confidence or second guessing yourself of what you're doing during the week?
No, I don't lose confidence in myself. One of the things I have to do is evaluate our process. What are we doing, and is it beneficial for the team? Right? Is it helping us win? And obviously, it's not right now. So those are all things that I have to look at moving forward.
Is there something that you're doing development that you can at least point to and say, okay, we can build off of this as we kind of move forward and whatever changes you're going to make, whether it's offensively, defensively, part of something that you can kind of...
I really want to say something funny right now. I said I really want to say something funny right now. I just can't think of anything. Maybe the kickoff, touchback. I don't know. I mean, listen, it's no, I know, and I get the question. I kind of wanted to be at that time, but gosh, it's just these guys. Listen, these guys work too hard. I mean, you watch them during the week. I mean, they work too hard, and then this is what happens. This is a result. I mean, it just goes to show you each week how important each week is and being ready to play, and it's the NFL, it's week to week, and like I said, no one's going to feel sorry for you, and you just got to keep working.
So do you feel like there's something this team just hasn't handled expectation, or a lot of expectation coming in? I don't want to go back to last year, but 83 last year, didn't be able to. Is it just a missing piece there?
I mean, it's possible, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes you want it. You want it bad enough, and I know. Listen, I know that locker room, they're hurting too, just like I am, and they want to win, and they want it bad enough too. We've got the right guys. It's not like we don't. I mean, there's the right guys are in the room, and the right leaders. We just have to. I have to figure out a way to get more out of them, right? And it's not more from practicing harder, longer. No, it's not that. It's just getting more, whether it's leadership, during games, how they address the team, whatever that looks like, right? Those are things I got to figure out.
You need Trevor to play markedly better than he's had.
I need everybody to coach and play better. Just leave it at that.
Last one. Do you feel like, you mentioned being ready to play, do you feel like over the last 3 weeks there's just a lot of players or a lot of process just not ready?
No, I feel like the guys are ready. I feel like they're, by the end of the week, they're in a good place. There's energy. There's and then it's not translating to the game, and that's the part that I think bothers you a little bit. Because I do see how hard they work and what they put in during the week, and then it's not translating. So those are the things I've got to figure out.
Next coach.
Bills over over the Jaguars. Josh Allen, 263 through the air, 4 first-half touchdown passes. The Jags defense unable to get off the field in the first half of the game. The Jags offense having their struggles tonight. Trevor Lawrence, 21 of 38 through the air, 178, a touchdown and an interception. The Bills improved to 3-0. The Jaguars fall to 0-3. And head coach Doug Peterson is with Bucky Brooks in Buffalo. Bucky?
Coach, thoughts on a tough loss tonight?
We're not very good. Yeah. We're not a good football team right now. We're somewhat disconnected somehow, some way, which is strange to me. Things I've got to figure out, but I know we're better. I know we're better than tonight. I know we're better. Not saying we'd have won the game. I'm just saying we're better than that performance. We're better than last week, and we have to coach and we have to play better.
It was interesting because in the locker room you're pretty calm and level-headed. You just kind of talked about like, hey man, we just got to find the right guys, the guys that are going to play hard and do those things or whatever. How do you do a reset so early in the season? Like how can you pull that off?
You got to continue to challenge the players. You have to continue to put our goals in front of the players. Which are still obtainable. We're 0-3. Yeah. I mean, we're not out of anything, right?
Especially the way the division is.
Yeah, I mean, so there's still going to be a lot of opportunities ahead of us. But I think it has to come down, quite honestly, the leadership of the team, the players. The players have to decide at some point, enough's enough, right? They're going to have to decide. I shared a quote. We've all heard this quote, right? Bad teams, nobody leads. Average teams, coaches lead. Elite teams, players lead.
Yeah.
Right? We've all heard that quote before.
Right.
But that's, in a nutshell, where we're at. Right? And I do see people trying to lead. It's not that we're not. I just think we're not.
Trevor, is there anything you can put your finger on as to why tonight just didn't get going at all?
Yeah, honestly, no. I thought we had a good plan coming into the week. We had a really good week of practice and prep, but at some point you gotta go do it, in the game, and we haven't been able to do that yet. So, don't have a great answer for you right now. I think, obviously watching the tape's going to help, and we got to fix the mistakes that are showing up, and there's plenty of them to pass around to everybody. So, we're the ones that got to make the corrections, and at the end of the day, when we step on that field, we got to make the plays, and I think that's what we're lacking right now is we're not making the plays. We're in positions to do it and not doing it. So,
Trevor, how much of this feels like you plug a hole and something else pops, or is it a lot of the same stuff?
Yeah, like I said, I have to watch it and really see kind of all the plays, and I know there's obviously some in my mind that I'm thinking about that didn't go our way, and we got to figure out why and how do we learn from it, what we can do better every position. It's just one of those times where we don't have any momentum. It seems like everyone takes their turn on making a bad play at the wrong time, including myself. It seems really difficult to go forward. Can't find that rhythm right now, and we all have our share in it, and it takes us making the plays out there. Players play, coaches coach, and when we step on the field, we got to make the plays, and so we have to take all the accountability, all the criticism, all the scrutiny, because we're not doing that right now, and that's our job, is to go make the plays. And I know that I'm not playing as good as I can play, just point blank. There's plays out there, like the one to Brian, which I'm sure you guys saw, like that, just a throw you miss and turns into a turnover. And it's a game where the defense needed us to make some plays, to get some momentum, to settle in, to keep the ball, put some points on the board, give them a little breather, and that, for example, really hurts us. So it's just we gotta make the plays. It's that simple. This game is hard, but it's not that hard. We made it look really, really hard today, and we're a lot better than that.
I know it's week to week, but how do you prevent the feelings of that, to knock them out in the press and be stunned and shook by the whole thing?
I mean, honestly, this is just one you kind of throw in the garbage. You watch it and you obviously make the corrections, but you move on as quick as possible. And we got a day less than normal anyways. We got Houston, so it's a good week for a short week, in my opinion. We need to move on and we need to flush it. So that's the mindset there. It's enough talking, and we're not going to talk ourselves into anything. We got to go out there and do it. No one's coming to save us. It's us. So, and I still got all the trust and faith in our guys, but we have to stick together. This is going to challenge us. Obviously, the first 3 games haven't gone our way. Tonight was really, really bad, and it's going to challenge us. And we got to stick together. And we're going to be fine, but we got to go do it.
Doug mentioned maybe changing the process, maybe how you guys go about the week. Is there anything in terms of your process that you might think of changing?
Of course, I'm open to changes, but man, I work really hard in the week to prepare myself to play, and like I said, I'm not playing my best right now, and that is frustrating. And I got to look at maybe there's things that I could do better during the week to prepare. But honestly, I put the time in. I got confidence in that. It's just execution all the way around the board, and whether it's missing throws or just being on the same page communication wise, or protections up front, communicating on all those things. There's so many things that go into it, and where we're at now, like I said, is just we sometimes you're on teams where everything's going right for you and you can afford to make some mistakes and find a way to win. We're just not right there right now, so we have to make those plays early. We got to settle in earlier. I think we started with a 3-and-out again today. And right now we're not playing well enough to survive that, and we just have to be sharper early in the game and settle in.
There's really not much you can change, though, right? We expect all season, all camp, kind of being who you guys are and working through that. So at this point, what can you really change overall right now?
Like I said, it's really as simple as just players playing and playing well and consistently playing well, and we're not doing that right now. So we believe in what we're doing, but we got to go do it. There's enough blame to go around for everybody. I think we're all accountable enough to own our part of it, but you can own it, but you got to do something about it. You got to go play better. I need to play really well for us to win. That's the NFL. Quarterback has to play well every week to give yourself a shot to win, and don't feel like I've done that consistently enough. So I put that on myself, and I got to play better. It's frustrated. Obviously, just kind of after tonight, just a little bit stunned, to be honest. I thought we work really hard, we practice hard, we put a lot of time in. So disappointing would be an understatement. We felt like we had an opportunity it's a primetime game Monday night, and kind of show who we are, and that's not who we are, and we know that, but that's what it looks like we are right now. So we got to fix it, and it's on us. So I think all the talking and stuff I'm kind of tired of, but we're gonna have to keep doing it till we show some answers on the field. So. Yeah, I think early on in the games we gotta find a way to stay on track, to get in a rhythm. I feel like we haven't been able to do that. Every game's been something different. So I think that's part of it. I think another part of it is just I've missed a few throws, which happen. Every game you're gonna have some, but it's always nice when you can get in a rhythm early, and maybe you have that in the second or third quarter, and you bounce back next play, hit one, and get going again. But to be honest, I've obviously a lot of confidence in myself and what I can do, and I'm disappointed in how I've been playing. So I'd have to watch it and see kind of what the issue was tonight. I think it's really difficult in this league when you get down by that much to drop back past every play. The defense knows it. Coverage changes a lot. Pass rush changes a lot. They know it's hard for the guys up front. So that speeds things up too. They did a good job. Credit to Buffalo. They disguised coverages really well tonight. They played just about everything you could play. And at times we had a good plan for it and exposed it, but not consistently enough. So yeah, it's a few different things. I'd say with why I don't feel like I've played as good as I can play. And tonight, obviously, the costly turnover. When we needed some momentum, that really hurt us. So it's a play I throw a foot lower, and it's a huge gain, and we're rolling. And game of inches, though, you can't miss those.
Thanks, Trevor.
All right, thank you all.
Hard to say the least for him this year.
Yeah, you thought he might have a good chance tonight to get something rolling with Teron Johnson ruled out in the middle of the week last week, outstanding nickel corner. And, just seemed like the pendulum was going to swing back in his direction at some point. And, getting 10 balls thrown your way compared to, he had 3 officially last week, not counting the touchdown that got overturned. Had another one, one of those incompletes was a close one in the end zone. He kind of got bumped, almost came down with it. But on a night where not much positive was happening, I'm going to go with Kirk with the 8 for 79.
I think I'll go ahead and just make it official. Fred, I mean, you need a whole lot more than that the way this game went tonight, but Christian Kirk is one of the first guys that was paid in this group, and for a reason. I mean, he played at a high level in his past, and he's got to get back.
I was actually going to go with Logan Cook. He didn't get in anyone's way tonight. It wasn't his fault that they, lost the way they lost. But actually, I'm gonna go with Brenton Strange, a guy who's replacing Evan Ingram. He only had 2 catches. He did have the big drop there, but he also had the sole touchdown in the game. And somehow, after I picked him up this week in my fantasy league, he gave me 7.6 points. Helped me win my game this week. So he gets my vote for a lot of reasons.
We're excited for you, Fred. Congratulations.
No negative points for that drop.
I appreciate you guys. That's what I'm talking about.
You might have won
he put in.
You might have won your fantasy league, but you didn't win the vote tonight because we're going with Christian Kirk as the Jaguars Radio Network player of the game. 10 targets, 8 catches, 79 yards. They need that guy to do that most every week. Moving ahead, and if you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, look no further than Ford F-150, loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between. This truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Baptist Health Injury Report when we return. It's a long list tonight as well. Unfortunately, after a Jaguars loss on Monday Night Football, it's Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning, and you could save up to $4,500 through possible tax credits and other discounts. Purchase a new system today, and Florida Home Air Conditioning will buy back your old inefficient HVAC system. Request your complimentary consultation from Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Calling all loyal Jags fans and loyal Gate customers, football is back. And you and 3 friends could win a chance to meet Trevor Lawrence. Entering is easy. Just buy any 5 28-ounce Gatorade or Gatorade Zero products at Gate with your MyGate Rewards app, and you'll be automatically entered. Not a MyGate Rewards member? Download the app and sign up today. See store for details. Alternate entry available at GatoradePromos.com/TLAW.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in Miami and Houston. Watch them win in Philly, Detroit, Nashville, and Las Vegas. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. the JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Chelsea here. Tired of those drafty windows and high energy bills? It's time to upgrade with Renewal by Andersen. Right now, during our exclusive sale, you can save big on custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors designed to keep your home comfortable and secure all year round. Our Fibrex material is 2 times stronger than vinyl, providing superior durability and impact resistance. Plus, with flexible financing options available, there's never been a better time to make a switch. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading healthcare and technology organizations nationwide to deliver workforce solutions. CSI prides itself on building meaningful relationships and provides personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com. Jaguars postgame continues, presented by Florida Home AC, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor, Brian Sexton joining us now from the Hyundai Studios for the final couple of moments of our network program. We'll have the Scoreboard Show coming up on our flagship station in Jacksonville shortly. The injury report is presented by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. They're already dinged up a little bit coming in on the defensive side. Of course, Tyson Campbell on injured reserve. Savage did not go today. Evan Ingram did not go today with a hamstring injury. And then in the game, 4 players that at least we noticed here, obviously 2 did not return. 3 did not return. Jarian Jones with a shoulder injury did not return to the game, the cornerback. Foye Oluokun with a foot injury late in the second quarter walked off gingerly. He was out for the rest of the game. Anton Harrison, left knee apparently in the third quarter. He did not return to the game at right tackle. And then late in the fourth quarter, we see on the sideline Gabe Davis favoring what appeared to be his left shoulder area somewhere up in there, and talking with the athletic training staff, the wide receiver. That is a lengthy, significant list, Brian.
It is. It really is. And we talked last week. You had the opportunity, if you wanted to make a little change on the offensive line. Anton Harrison goes down, you don't. I mean, Cam Robinson really struggled tonight. I heard you guys talking about that. Not only did he have a couple of pressures, he gave up the sack, he had the penalty early on Greg Rousseau, the holding penalty. And how about the lining up in the illegal formation on that drive? I thought that was one of the key moments of the game, by the way. They're down 13-0. They have a long, sustained drive. They've got it 1st and 5 at the 19-yard line, thanks to the offsides penalty the Bills give you. And then a 6-yard run by Bixby. You're 1st and 10 at the 13. You go in, it's a different game if you're 13-7 there, right? And instead, Cam is lined up, and you see Doug. He's on the sideline pointing to his head going, you can't do that, right? This is a penalty that has been called a lot in the first 3 weeks on a lot of different guys. Remember Ronnie Stanley in week 1 had it called on him 3 times.
Laramie Tunsil, I think, had like 5 of them.
Yeah, it's preposterous. And he's not playing very well. And I'd love to see Walker Little get a shot there, but Walker may have to play on the right side.
Yeah, and we'll see moving ahead, Fred Taylor, and that sort of begins. These injuries, though, piling up, and secondary especially, you got Jarian Jones. We'll see how bad that is. And, of course, Foye Oluokun is the defensive captain, Fred, so you don't want to see those guys on the list at all.
I think the biggest piece of missing Foye is he's a signal caller. You know, he communicates the defense from the sideline to the huddle. So he's the leader, you know, as soon as they break the huddle, or actually before they even get into the huddle, he's just demanding everything. So you might see things being a little slower, guys getting in position a little later, and if you face a team that's going to go up tempo, which this Texans team is capable of doing next week, especially if they, in their scouting report, if they say, hey, look, their signal caller is down. He's been the guy calling it for the past several years. We're going to fast break him. So be aware of that next week going into the game. See if the Texans go up tempo. But yeah, certainly Foye, he's been a tackling machine. The not so vocal leader, but a guy who just comes to work and gets it done. And hopefully it's not anything that's overly serious, and he can get back out there sooner than later.
We'll return and take a look at next week's matchup. The Jaguars visit NRG Stadium in Houston and the defending AFC South champion Houston Texans. That's next. It's Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called The Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Get $2,000 in loyalty cash bonus on a new Toyota Tundra. Offer valid through September 30th, 2024. Offer entitles current Tundra customers to $2,000 loyalty cash bonus on the retail purchase or lease of a new Tundra gas or hybrid vehicle. Bonus cash may be used only toward a down payment or capitalized cost reduction on the new vehicle. See dealer for details.
For us, treating cancer is personal. We're Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, and we know that every patient is unique. So you'll have a plan created by world-renowned doctors and tailored to your needs. And everyone here will support you every step of the way, so you're physically, emotionally, and spiritually strong for the journey. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Visit BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time becomes now. A whole city will rally behind you and begin to believe too.
Because when you believe, the unbelievable can happen. We believe in justice for everyone, and we believe we're the attorneys to help people get it. Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars. Jacksonville.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars Radio Network presented by UF Health. University of Florida Health is the proud healthcare partner of the Jags. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton at the Hyundai Studios. Fred Taylor on the phone line with us. Well, the Jaguars are 0-3.
Yeah.
The Houston Texans are not. They are in first place in the AFC South, and they will entertain the Jaguars 6 days from now. 1 o'clock, NRG Stadium, the site, Brian, and here we go.
I suppose if you want to be positive, and I'm not sure anybody wants to be tonight, Mike and I talked, and I'm sure you guys did too. Had the Jaguars won tonight, they were going to Houston next week to play for first place.
Yes.
Well, they didn't win, but you have a chance next week to perhaps make it a one-game lead for the Texans, and then you get the Colts the next week, and maybe you build on it. I know it's ridiculous. Win one game, stop talking about two. But these next two games are super important.
Oh, there's no question about it. I mean, like, what you're saying is factually correct, but I think we're all like that whole game, hey, still mathematically, if these things all happen. And, look, right now, you look at Houston and C.J. Stroud, he's been sacked 11 times in 3 games. If you're a team with a halfway competent pass rush, you're going to get after him. We don't have one of those.
You see, that's the part right now that I have the most regret for. I thought I knew some things about this team. I thought the pass rush was something that this team could count on. Where was it?
Non-existent.
Where was it last week?
Is the worst example of it because Cleveland's given up 6 and 8 sacks in their 2 other games.
Well, you thought that the Jaguars would have a passing game that they could count on. And I realize you have played without Evan Ingram for 2 of those games, and he had 114 catches last year. But you went and brought in Brian Thomas Jr. and Gabe Davis. The things that we thought we knew about this team, JP, I don't think we know. I don't think you can look and say, they do this and they do that. In week 3 of the 3rd season here with Doug running the show.
And remember, we were talking about that going into the game today. What is the identity of this team? What do they do? What is they? Because it changed the first 2 weeks, whatever that was. It wasn't enough, obviously, but today it just deepens the questions, Fred, of what this team really is. But they better figure out something pretty quick.
Yeah, I think it's more of the offense being prepared for the Texans defense. I think Mike mentioned the Texans offense has given up 11 sacks. On the defensive side, they've taken 13 sacks. So I'm not sure if that's enough for the league, but I do know that they've been getting after opposing quarterbacks. But if we can go sack for sack and try and protect the football, C.J. Stroud, he's done a phenomenal job, minus last game, at protecting the ball. We know he's going to make the smart throws. They're going to always put their guys in position to be successful and minimize those errors and give themselves a chance to win. And that's what they were good at a year ago. That's been their approach this year, minus the blowout that they had a week ago. So both teams are looking to bounce back from two big blowouts in a divisional matchup, the second for the Texans, the first for the Jaguars. So here they have an opportunity in the Jaguars to, again, bury this last game or this game tonight, as Doug mentioned there on air, and hopefully they can finally get in the win column. So it's going to take a lot. It won't be easy. The Texans are going to take shots with those speedy receivers. They're going to go after the secondary. So it's even more important to try and get sacks and also establish the run to try to keep that offense off the field and minimize the sack from the Texans defense.
It's going to be quite a week around the Miller Electric Center ahead of the AFC South opener for the Jaguars in Houston against the Texans. Fred, we will talk to you this week, man. Appreciate it as always.
Hey, man, I love you guys, man. Look, while we were on break, I was on Wikipedia. For some reason, I looked at the winningest coaches. I think you guys should take some time and just explore the Wikipedia winningest coaches. It's going to take you back, and you're going to really, I think, fall in love with that one page. It is so great. It is so good.
We'll take a look at that, Fred.
Take a look. I don't know where I'm going, but just take a look. I'm just sitting here just exploring, and I think it's amazing.
There's a lot to explore tonight other than this game. I'll say that because I think
it's going to be a lot of exploring around here in the meeting rooms this week, too.
I checked out some time ago. I'm glad I don't have to get on this call-in show with you guys.
Well, you can stick around, Fred.
Calling from South Florida.
Oh, Fred Taylor, we love you.
There's an open invite anytime. That's Fred,
next time.
Fred Taylor, proud of the Jaguars running back with us. Brian Sexton, Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick. Our flagship station, if you're on in Jacksonville and 1010XL, the Scoreboard Show is next, and the phone lines will be open. Final score, 47-10. Bills over the Jaguars on Monday Night Football, and this is the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by University of Florida Health, Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by Everbank. Now, waiting to hear from you, here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Welcome in. It is the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton in studio with us at the Miller Electric Center in the Hyundai Studios after Jaguars lost to the Bills. And one of the worst ones we've seen in recent history, 47-10. Bills over the Jaguars. 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. As always, keep it clean. We'll get to the calls coming up. But, Brian, Mike and I, during the game, halftime, said it was the worst half of football we've seen them play. You've been around here since day one. What do you think?
Well, Fred mentioned the 50-10 game in 1998 on Sunday Night Football in Minnesota which was horrible, but they were playing with John Quinn, a rookie, as a starting quarterback.
And they had won 10 games at that point in the season already.
Yeah.
You knew they were good.
Yeah. They went in and played that great Vikings team in Randy Moss's rookie year. And I remember the guys talked about the 44-0 blowout in Detroit where they were literally taking a knee with 11 minutes left to play. Bobby Ross? Was that the coach of the?
Yeah, that's right.
Bobby Ross was taking a knee with 11 minutes and 43 seconds to play. It was humiliating. It was the worst moment in terms of an opponent saying, yeah, you can't compete with us. That was a terrible half of football. You're old enough to remember this, I think. I know you are. Remember when Dandy Don Meredith used to sing at the end of Monday Night Football? Turn out the lights, the party's over. That was sort of his little tradition of, hey, this one's over. The game is done. How many times in the first half did you – I'm telling you, I heard it over and over and over. When Josh Allen threw – when the Jaguars went 3 and out, I heard it. I went, uh-oh, that is a really bad sign. When Josh Allen threw his first, second, third, fourth, when Trevor lined up – in fact, I wrote it in my notebook. When Trevor lined up to go for it on 4th down, and he got it, I wrote, good night, the party's over, and then I scratched it out. I went, okay. Quarterback, and I don't know whether you recall that play. He put his nose into it. I mean, he really pushed. And they've talked about it around here for a couple years. That's not what he does well. But, I mean, he was not going to be denied on that play. And then the very next play, sails it over the head. And then I wrote, turn out the lights. The party is over in the first half. So, JP, I would say that this is the worst half of football that I can remember in 30 years covering this team.
And look, even if it's not the worst, JP, the fact that it's even in the conversation.
We're talking about
right,
it.
And we're talking about it and what's supposed to be. And, again, I thought it was too aggressive of a statement by Shad Khan to say this is the most talented team ever assembled in Jaguars history, but it's certainly more talented than a lot of the teams that we've seen that have had this kind of thing happen to them.
And the most expensive team put together, which
no question.
Which leads you to believe that it should be. It should be.
No doubt. And look, expenses are always going to go up and up and up. But I understand what you're saying. The level of commitment that they made this offseason with 3 top-of-the-market contracts, your 3 key players, and through that time, one of them's hurt. The other one had a decent game in week 2, pretty good game, actually, in week 2, and Josh Hines-Allen hasn't done much outside of that. And Trevor Lawrence has not been good. He had about a pretty good first half of the season against Miami. And since then, what? Nothing to write home about.
They ran the ball a bunch in that first half in Miami, too.
They did, but the offense looked good. They were moving. They were in rhythm, right.
Until they weren't.
Until they weren't.
And now they're not.
And they haven't been.
And the Jaguars' defense didn't show either today.
Well, that's the thing, right? You live out there and you say, well, at least our defense is doing that. Well, you can't count on holding a team under 20 points unless apparently you're playing the Jags, who have gone backwards in the scoring department so far every game this season. So, if we're on pace for, I guess we're on pace for 7 next week against Houston.
They won't get it done.
That's where it won't get it done. But, I mean, look, the defense gave up 5 touchdowns on 5 possessions in the first half tonight. So they're not getting any pressure, Brian. They're not even coming close to forcing turnovers. So, this is the kind of team that's going to need a positive turnover margin, you feel right now, to beat any halfway competent team.
And the Bills just attacked the Jaguars on the perimeter. I mean, early on, they just went for the short catch and run. And I don't know whether it was the man coverage. I don't know whether it was the lack of pressure. But the Bills were saying, we're going to run you across the field, and we are going to beat you with our receivers running past your guys.
Every time Josh Allen dropped back, he had one guy running open. Yep. On every play, Trevor Lawrence rarely had one, and then when he had a guy, he sailed it.
That's a great point, because it felt tonight, and to a degree it felt like it last week too. Man, it felt like anything the Bills wanted to do was easy, and it felt like everything the Jaguars wanted to do was incredibly hard.
With that, the phone lines are open. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. Your calls when we return. Keep it clean. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Jaguars fans, huddle up. Do you own a vehicle made in the last 10 years? If your car is outside of factory warranty or with no warranty coverage, get the best defense against expensive auto repairs with CarShield, the official auto protection partner of the Jaguars. With plans to fit every budget, CarShield helps you cover up to 5,000 parts and systems. Call 800-471-1223 now or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. That's 800-471-1223. Coverage varies by plans. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Calling all loyal Jags fans and loyal Gate customers, football is back. And you and 3 friends could win a chance to meet Trevor Lawrence. Entering is easy. Just buy any 5 28-ounce Gatorade or Gatorade Zero products at Gate with your MyGate Rewards app and you'll be automatically entered. Not a MyGate Rewards member? Download the app and sign up today. See store for details. Alternate entry available at GatoradePromos.com/Tlaw.
Facing cancer takes a lot of determination, strength, and support. And you'll get it all at Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center. Determination from world-renowned doctors, giving you specialized treatment with cutting-edge technology and research. Strength and support from a dedicated team, caring for you completely, during and after treatment. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Appointments available at BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Chelsea here. Tired of those drafty windows and high energy bills? It's time to upgrade with Renewal by Anderson. Right now, during our exclusive sale, you can save big on custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors designed to keep your home comfortable and secure all year round. Our Fibrex material is 2 times stronger than vinyl, providing superior durability and impact resistance. Plus, with flexible financing options available, there's never been a better time to make a switch. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
All right, let's get to it. The Scoreboard Show, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351 after a Jaguars loss to the Bills on Monday Night Football, 47-10. What you got, Mike?
You can make it emphatic as long as it's clean. 355-NFL-1. We go to David from Arlington to lead things off. David, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Hey, how y'all doing? You can hear me?
We can.
Yeah,
yes.
Man. What's up?
Great. Yeah, I think y'all just kind of hit the nail on the head just a couple minutes ago. I blame Shad Khan. I mean, it starts at the top. I feel like he's been too preoccupied with London, wanting to talk trash. We've only been 2 games over 500 the past 2 seasons, and I think we really just started beating our chests, taking our eyes off the prize, and we're not emphasizing like the things that really should be important to this football team. He's been historically bad on the field with, I think it was like the first owner to 100 losses. So I think, we really just need to kind of have a culture change across the board. And I think it has to start at the top. And I also think Trent Baalke doesn't help either. But that's all I got for y'all today.
Appreciate the call.
No one's firing the owner.
No. He's, yeah. But
so,
in theory, he has the authority to make any of the changes he wants at some point if he feels that is warranted.
Give him any more games like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, because we all heard it. We all talked about what was in the hunt and out there. It's out there. It's public that the expectations are high this year.
Well, I don't think he didn't know, right? I mean, he and his people knew if you use this on your behind-the-scenes show, it's going to be a story all season long, and he still went with it. So the culture that he's trying to put is, hey, I put the money in there, right? I signed the players that you wanted me to sign. We've got the Miller Electric facility. I don't think that's talking trash, David. I think he put his money where his mouth is and said, I'm the owner. Here's what I can do.
I've given you every resource you've asked for.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then the plane that they fly on is a magnificent plane, right? I mean, every little thing that Shad Khan could do for this team, he has done. That's not talking trash. That's putting your money where your mouth is, and he's done it. Now, you might not agree with some of the specific moves, but he's done it, and that's what they asked for. So I'm not sure taking after him. Although, listen, he's the guy at the top. He owns it.
It's your prerogative to feel any way you like
Sure.
about it. But I tend to agree with you, Brian. Like they go to him and say, hey, we need this, we need this, we need this. Oh, by the way, let's set the record for some of these contracts for, you know, or come close to it with 3 marquee players this offseason. Plus they restructured Foye, gave him more. We went out there and spent. Where did the cap space come from in free agency, right? You went in with a certain amount, and every day, every hour, it seemed like here's another high-priced guy. Sure, I'll write the check. Do you tell me these are the guys you need? He's always done that.
Always done that.
Always put the money out there. And, look, I get it. Shad Khan's track record in terms of just a one-loss record is not good. There's no question about it. I don't know what. Other than, everyone in hindsight, or at the time, maybe we're fire Trent Baalke, other than that, and there's no guarantee that the next group's going to be any more successful. When they ask you for resources to put this team together, he's never said no. So
he never has.
That's where I'm at on that.
Yep.
For the moment,
Excellent
David,
point.
thank you for the call. Let's go to Don on the north side. Next up here on Jaguars. Almost Jaguars today. Jaguars Scoreboard
it's
Show.
Almost tomorrow.
See what I
today?
caught?
Yeah.
Jaguars Scoreboard Show.
We're
What's
getting
up?
close.
Go ahead, Don.
Hey, fellas. How we doing this evening?
Good, man. What's up?
Hey, man, obviously we all watch the game, so we pretty much know. I just got to say, man, Trevor in, year 4 now, everything else like that, man, he's an average quarterback with potential and a little bit of upside, but after 4 years, we have a tendency to see some of these things. I'm not going to completely blame him because the offensive line didn't show up. I don't know where the defense was. We were under the impression that we had this great defense, and every game so far this season, they've been giving up these consecutive long drives and clock killing and everything else. And yeah, man, I'm just I'm so disappointed right now with everything, man. It's just I feel like, man, just throw the team away. We thought that we had upside, and maybe we had a little bit too much with that season where we came back at the end and that spectacular Chargers game, but honestly we've been nothing but mediocre since then. So just wanted to voice my opinion. Thank you guys. I'll take that off.
Appreciate the phone call. I mean, remember, Trevor Lawrence isn't going anywhere. I mean, he's here for the long haul too.
Right.
So he's got to improve.
I saw this stat during the broadcast when they were 8-3 last. Was it November?
Yeah.
And for that brief moment against the Bengals, they were in the number 1 hole in the AFC. At that moment, he was 13-3 in his previous 16 games, and since then, he's 1-8. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
1-8.
He's 0-8
because
he has right.
His last 8
right.
starts.
The Jags are 1-8. He's 0-8.
Yeah.
I think it's too early to say he can't be the guy, although he's not giving you a lot of reason to believe in it. And I just throw this out there. I wonder, and I have no proof, and he would disagree with this, I wonder if he's having trouble handling the expectations. $55 million and everybody pointing at him. I just wonder if he feels the need to try to do everything.
I don't know. I wonder about that, too, because more that I hope that's not the case, because I don't think anybody is putting these expectations to go throw for 400 yards. Trevor rarely throws for 300 yards. He's not been that guy that puts up these huge statistical performances. We just want to see some competency, protect the football. Yeah, he's protected it.
Sure.
But to our caller's point, I don't think he's been mediocre. I think he's been bad. I think he's been bad this year, and he needs to get better to reach the mediocre stage right now. The Jags are The worst team in the National Football League. Their offense is abysmal at this moment. 3 weeks in.
Non-functional.
Completely non-functional. You've gone from 17 to 13, now down to 10 points. What's the bottom? Don't know.
Yeah, we can't get to 0 because they have scored some points this year.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm sure your phone was blowing up like mine was. Trevor's not the guy. He's not the guy. He's proving it. He's not the guy. Well, I mean, based on the last 8 starts he's made, you would say, well, yeah, you're right. And I guess now he's 19 and 20 since the start of the 22 season as a starter, including the playoffs from that 122 season. So, yeah, totally get it. But as you mentioned, he's going to be here. I mean, they are married to his contract now. So the big lift is to figure out how to fix that.
And when you see guys like Sam Darnold, who's now one of the leading candidates for MVP in the league, guys can get fixed, right? They can improve. They can get better. Geno Smith is a good quarterback now. It took him a long time. I don't want it to take that long for Trevor Lawrence, because if it does, he's going to be good on somebody else's roster.
Right, because Darnold's on his 4th team now.
Exactly, right? But the talent is there. Darnold's younger than Joe Burrow, right? I mean, he got fixed, at least it seems, with the right coaching. He's got some weapons around him and all that, but he's playing fantastic football right now.
By the way, I lost track of the Bengals game. Did they win or lose?
They lost. 0-3.
0-3.
But they scored 33 points.
Yeah, they did.
You know, so at least you can say, hey, look, our passing game, man. Jamar Chase had a couple of touchdowns tonight. We're going to get that thing clicking. T. Higgins finally made it into the lineup for the first time this year. We're going to score points, but you know, they also gave up 21 out of 23 completions to Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels looked great.
91% plus completion percentage, rookie record, JP was pointing out earlier.
Yeah, in the NFL. That is pretty remarkable. One final point on the Trevor Lawrence thing, too, is it doesn't help that he's on his backside a good bit and getting chased around, and the offensive line's having some issues. And you could see a couple times tonight with the eyes are coming down, and he had the pirouette move and run into the sack, and all that is combined in the full slate for Trevor Lawrence, the way things are going right now. Phone lines are open. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. More of your calls when we come back on the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
If you're facing cancer, you want a dedicated team working for you. At Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, we only focus on cancer. And we partner with one of the largest cancer centers in the world. So you'll have a specialized treatment plan created by our experienced and highly trained oncologists and surgeons, collaborating with one of the country's leading cancer centers. Best of all, we're in North Florida with locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Appointments at BaptistMDAnderson.com.
The 2024 season is Pawsome. Register your pet for the Four-Legged Fan Club, presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. Your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes, with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners, and the chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit Jaguars.com/promotions/Four-Legged Fan Club to sign up.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in Miami and Houston. Watch them win in Philly, Detroit, Nashville, and Las Vegas. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information. Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
The Scoreboard Show continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton from the Hyundai Studios after a Jaguars loss 47-10. And we were referencing during the break, and I just officially looked it up. It is tied for the third most points allowed by the Jaguars all time. 51 in New England.
Patriots in 15.
That was the 2015 game where they scored on every possession. 2022 at New England, 50.
50 and 98 at New England.
50 and 98 at Minnesota. 95 against Seattle, 47.
Right.
As well. And so 47 tonight. There you go. 355 NFL1, the number. 355-6351.
All right, next up, Pierre in California here on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Pierre.
How we doing, guys? How we doing?
What's up? How are you?
Man. Still optimistic here. We've got a couple division games coming up. But, like I told you guys last week, man, it went from sad to bad. Now it's getting really bad. These division games, and then we got London. I'm looking at the schedule right now. We got London. That might be the only place we can get a win. I don't think we even better than the Bears right now. And then we got to come back, and we got the Packers and Eagles. It's not looking good.
Man, if this is optimism, I'd hate to hear what pessimism sounds like.
Exactly.
I mean, you're optimistic, and you're looking at there might be one team on the schedule they can handle. That's optimism.
I'm trying.
I'm just saying, man, it's not very optimistic, Peter.
Try harder.
I'm not saying it's unrealistic. I'm just saying it's not optimistic. So.
Right. But, what do we do from here? I mean, the first 2 weeks we could say it came down to one or two plays. But now you can't even say that now. This team just got flat out beat on both sides of the ball.
Well, yeah, and look, beyond that, you look at the teams they lost to by one or two plays, and those teams are getting destroyed since, including with Tua. It was 31-7. Yeah. Buffalo in the lead before he knocked himself out of the game there. And then Cleveland just reverted right back to the miserable team they were in week one as soon as now, their offense, about comparable because they only scored 16 against the Jags, but the Jags offense can't do anything against anybody right now. And if the defense is going to match that effort, I mean, what are we looking at,
0-3.
0-3 and staring down the barrel of
and as Doug told Bucky, this is not a good football team.
Right. I mean, and
he came
he
right
wanted
out and
to
said
go,
it.
I think, a little further than that,
Yep.
and
he pulled himself
reined
back
himself in a little bit. Pierre, appreciate the call. Keep that optimism flowing, buddy. Let's go to Bob in Charlotte, North Carolina. Bob, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Evening, guys. How you guys doing?
Hey, man, what's up?
It's a rough night. Jaguars fan for roughly 20-something years now at this point, and I'm living in Charlotte now, so I'm a mere 20-minute drive from the Panthers Stadium, and it's not looking too much better now at this point. And we've got a lot more talent on this roster, and we saw it from Doug tonight. He's losing that locker room, and he's losing faith in his guys. I mean, he blamed the players for tonight. There was no accountability on his end. It's really unfortunate seeing that from a head coach in the NFL, especially of his caliber, who's won a Super Bowl in Philly. I mean, at what point, does the experiment end with, Doug and Press Taylor? It's been, they won that Carolina game late last year. I'm not even going to count that. At this point, it's been 8 games, 8 poor games. And, back to the talent on the roster, we have a ton of it. And at some point, you got to point the finger at the leadership. And to the earlier caller's point, you know, I don't think ownership's to blame. Ownership, and to y'all's point, ownership's given them all of the tools for success. They've got that beautiful facility in the Miller Electric facility. And, you know, he's not taking any responsibility. He just threw all his players under the bus. He's going to lose the locker room. You lose any locker room by doing that, the leadership, whether you're playing hockey, football, baseball, anything. Once your leaders give up on you, you give up on your leaders. And that goes all the way up to the highest level, it seems. You know, it's just really unfortunate to keep going over and over and over again with these experiments. And, you know, you got Doug Peterson.
Right.
You've got, I mean, it's just been years of it. What are your all's thoughts on that?
I mean, so here's, at some point, the players do have to go make plays and run the locker room on their own. That's where his successful teams have rallied and done some of that in Philadelphia, too. I mean, those guys were not supposed to win a lot of those games. They went out and rallied and found a way to come together and do that. So that's where he's speaking from, his past experience in locker rooms like that.
Well, it goes way, way back. I remember talking to Marty Schottenheimer when he was down here one offseason, and he talked about bringing in veteran players to a Kansas City locker room, and he finally got Marcus Allen, who was the guy who allowed him to fully turn it over. I mean, he had his hands around that thing. He goes, and then the players showed up where I could step back and let him run the entire thing. You'd think that player's in the locker room. You'd think Josh Hines Allen and the guys that you paid, Trevor Lawrence and Eric Armstead. I don't know that Doug hasn't turned it over to him. In fact, tonight it sounded like he had, and he was waiting for someone to grab that ring and to take off with it. Here's what I'll say about Doug Peterson. You know, you talk about experiments. Doug's a proven coach. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. You could say Urban Meyer was an experiment.
Yes.
But you can't say Doug Peterson is an experiment because he came in here with a proven track record. He 2 9-8 seasons, 1 playoff season, and an 0-3 start. So you can judge it from that point. But Doug Peterson's not an experiment.
Seeing from Ian Rappaport, as if the night couldn't get any worse for the Jaguars, their plane is dealing with mechanical issues, and as of now, can't take off and fly home from Buffalo until after 1 a.m. So,
I have been on those charters. I mean, the night that we lost 50-10 in 1998 in Minnesota, we were delayed by snow. By the time we finally took off, it was 2 a.m. And by the time we got back here, there was fog in Jacksonville. We circled for an hour, couldn't land, so we had to go to Orlando and land and bus up. So when it rains, it pours.
We'll take a timeout. 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. More of your calls when we return. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
It's not about how you start the job. It's about finishing what you start. The Ford F-150 truck can help. Get the freedom to choose between available gas, Power Boost Hybrid, or all-electric powertrains, all delivering the power, capability, and efficiency needed to get the job done right. Just another reason why Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck in America 47 straight years. Ford F-150, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading healthcare and technology organizations nationwide to deliver workforce solutions. CSI prides itself on building meaningful relationships and provides personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Scoreboard Show continues, 47-10, the final. Bills over the Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton. Your calls, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. Let's get some more in.
Yeah, let's head up to Connecticut. Adrian is next up on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Adrian.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on. I'll try to be quick with some stats and then get to my point at the end. Going back to 2012 with the new regime of Malarkey, we lose week 3, 45-17. The next year, we fire Malarkey. We go to Bradley, and then we lose week 3, 44-17. Then the next year, the same thing, 51-17. We lose to the Patriots. Then the next year, 38-14 in San Diego. Week 2, lose again. Then the next year after that, we lose to the Cowboys, 40-7, week 6. Skip a year in 2017, 2018, and 2019. We lose to the Chiefs week 1. That's the Nick Foles game where he broke his collarbone. And then in 2019, we lose 50-10 to the Patriots week 17. Those are I feel like, the biggest losses that we've had as a franchise overall. And I'll add one more. The most heartbreaking one was probably our primetime game against the Titans, where Quinn Gray got sacked by Dwight Freeney while wearing a dark visor at nighttime. Didn't make sense. It just showed complete failure of the team. This is a reoccurring theme, and we hired Doug Peterson to be the one that brings us out of that pattern of self-destruction and bring us through to the promised land. So when it's year 3 of his regime and we're going through this same thing in week 3, week 4, this is a problem from the top down. Skipping the Urban Meyer year where he lost in Cincinnati, and the drama came out with him, it's the same thing. It repeats. So when is it going to happen where the players step up, where the coaching steps up, where the owner, where the general manager steps up? We have other problems, too. We drafted Trayvon Walker. We said he was a development when we could have drafted Aiden. And we could have had direct implications on games if we drafted Aiden. Now, I love Trayvon, but he has to get better. And whatever pass rush he did when he was complaining about a hold, that was bottom-tier pass rush. That was Albert Haynesworth effort.
All right. I mean, we get it. There's a lot. There's a long list of grievances.
Yeah, not sure how going back to Mike Malarkey has any relevance, honestly.
It was a bad year.
What's going on right now? I mean, what does accountability mean if you're Trent Baalke?
I was just about to ask the same question.
Yeah, GMs basically do hardly anything during the year, right? They scout.
Yeah, they get ready for the next year.
Exactly.
Right. There's the football season, and then there's the not football season. And that's when they work. And, we had a couple of callers tonight call and say, how come they're not getting more out of this roster? There's lots of talent here. Okay. well, then Balky's done his job.
If you think there's lots of talent,
if you think that, then he's done his job.
Then you think the coaching staff and the players are to blame.
Well, that he turns it over once they decide on the 53 in the practice squad. He turns it over to Doug.
Totally. No, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just, you could also make the case that maybe they're not as talented as we think they are, right? And that's fair.
Tonight, 100% is fair.
Right. It's absolutely fair. It's particularly the way they performed on offense. But again, I don't know what people expect to. Should Trent Baalke get up and fire himself at the podium tomorrow? I mean, Shad Khan's the only one who's going to make the determination whether there's accountability for the GM and ultimately for the head coach as well.
Look, it's not about Khan. It's not about Baalke. It's about the coach and the players, because coming off of an 0-2 start, you have Monday Night Football, and you understand what that entails. That entails you standing on a national stage, your fans expecting you to go and to play well. I don't know that I expected him to win. I certainly expected him to play well. I certainly expected them to be in the game. My expectation for this season was the Jaguars would be able to build on 9-8, and they could be 10-7 or 11-5, 11-6. Sorry, that still trips me up. And have an opportunity to compete for the division title. That doesn't even look possible right now after 3 weeks. It doesn't look plausible. It seems like I'm delusional even having had that thought. Remember what I said when we first started? What I thought I knew, I suddenly don't know. But that's on the coach and the players, not the general manager and not the owner.
And by the way, no one's saying the coach or the coaching staff or the players are doing any kind of a good job right now. But when you talk about Doug Peterson hired to bring us out of that, he is only the second coach in 30 years to have back-to-back winning seasons. I know that's a low bar, 9-8, nothing to get excited about, but compared to a lot of what we've lived through over the last 2 decades, that is starting to move them out of that. That's why this is so disappointing that, okay, we had some bad injury luck with the quarterback last year. We could have been back-to-back division champs. At least that's the story you're selling yourself.
Right.
And you add these pieces, and all right, we're ready to go to battle now. We got all these young guys locked up. We had this great sense of togetherness and harmony, and we're going to go out there and play our best football, and that's not showing up at all. But I think for me, if I look objectively at what Doug Peterson has done in his first 2 years, that was a major step in the right direction compared to what we've seen in recent history.
He turned it around. I mean, they had been so abysmal for so long, he gave everyone hope.
Which does not excuse the level of play that they put on the field tonight. Nobody is suggesting that it does. I think we got Alan in Mandarin next up here. Actually, he's from Mandarin. He went to the game in Buffalo, checking in on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Alan.
Hey, guys. It's Alan live up here in Buffalo. And I just got to say, complete and abject failure, in my opinion, by the coaching staff. I mean, you've got all the weapons in the world. You got Trevor. You go out and draft BTJ. You got a decent-looking defense the first 2 weeks. Obviously Evan Ingram hurt, but you've got Christian Kirk out there who's struggling with his drops, and you got a few other guys. And it seems like the culture is low. It seems like they haven't responded since that Travis Etienne fumble in Week 1. It just seems like that just took them down and out, and really just frustrating to watch. Really frustrating to travel all the way up this way and see the team just lose in that kind of fashion. So. Just had to air out my grievances a little bit there, and I'll take my comments off there.
Yeah, appreciate the call. The thing that, everything is a little surprising, just the offense, the way it played, and the quarterback and all that, but the defense tonight. I know it's Josh Allen on the other side, and I know they're running the ball well and doing things, but they did anything they wanted tonight. And this was the part of the team that, okay, they've only given up X number of points in 2 weeks, and they're not playing perfect football, but they're not giving up a lot of points, and they're hanging in the game. They're keeping the team in the game. And tonight they were blown out of the water. 5 first-half touchdowns on 5 drives. That's the one that shocked me the most.
Well,
tonight.
You felt like you knew something about that side of the ball. And I got to tell you, how many times did I see guys take terrible angles tonight? On the first touchdown, Josh Hines-Allen took a horrible angle, a full step inside, and he couldn't recover. That's Josh Hines-Allen. That's a Pro Bowl caliber player. Andre Sisco, on that 4th down play on the first drive, what was he doing? His guy was way out in the flat. He was all the way in the middle of the field. He bit on some fake so hard.
Look what Jarian Jones did. Right? His guy goes in motion takes one step back the other way, and Jones never looked back, just started sprinting back across the field, and Shakir just slides out of the backfield uncovered.
Yeah, I mean,
uncovered.
That was the absolutely confusing part. The first Sunday against Miami, in fact, I came in here and told you guys, I really liked watching them talk, watching them adjust. That unit was playing so together. And if you recall the way that the defense ended last season, it was as dysfunctional as you could find. So it was so encouraging against Miami to see these guys checking with each other and making the adjustments. And then tonight, that defense was nowhere to be found.
So we'll take a timeout. And our final moments are ahead.
By the way, credit to Allen for going up there and putting his life at risk in Buffalo on Monday night, opening night up there as well. I saw some guys in teal jerseys, and I hoped that they were being good.
Yeah, I bet they could feel the momentum shift early in that place after the way this one went tonight. 47-10 was the final result. Bills over the Jags. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
For us, treating cancer is personal. We're Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, and we know that every patient is unique. So you'll have a plan created by world-renowned doctors and tailored to your needs. And everyone here will support you every step of the way, so you're physically, emotionally, and spiritually strong for the journey. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Visit BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Hey fans, it's Tyson Campbell, cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, your game day is getting even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium. And every time we get a pick, you'll score. If the Jaguars get one interception, you'll enjoy buy one, get one free pizza at any Al's Pizza location Monday through Thursday after the home game. 2 interceptions, a free dessert. And 3 interceptions, that's a free appetizer. Just tell them you want the Jags pick. Up your game and get your Al's Pizza at the game or any of their locations.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 177, has been powering Jacksonville since 1912. Powering where we compete, where we're entertained, our bridges and highways, and where we live and work. IBEW 177 has been powering Jacksonville for more than a century and will continue long into the future. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 177, is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in Miami and Houston. Watch them win in Philly, Detroit, Nashville, and Las Vegas. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Final moments of the Scoreboard Show after a 47-10 loss to the Bills. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton, and one more call.
Yes, indeed. That is Bryce out at the beaches checking in on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, Bryce.
Hey, guys. Appreciate you letting me call in here. First of all, I want to preface that I am a season ticket holder, so love the Jags, always been rooting for them, but the NFL is full of defining moments. I just watched the Patriots the other night, 28-3, Edelman with that big grab. You know, there's tons of moments. I think of the helmet catch from the Giants. where does that ETN fumble into the end zone rank for you guys as far as the defining moment? And I'd love to hear you guys talk about the O-line. Why are we not there yet?
I think it's the defining moment of this season.
Oh, man.
So far.
Listen,
is that ETN fumble.
Well, it's the ETN fumble because you felt the air go out, but then the next play
Very
also.
next
play.
Yeah. It's that bang, bang, and it's like, oh, boy.
But even after going back to that game, I mean, it's in the rear view now. Even after all that happened, they had the lead still.
Yeah. No,
I mean, even after the fumble kickoff return, they recovered it. They got the field goal. They still had the lead, and they couldn't finish the game.
But all that momentum was on Miami. So you felt it.
Yeah, he did. This is not a resilient team. It wasn't last year.
No.
It isn't now. They have got to find a way when it gets really wicked tough to fight through it. But you just felt it tonight. Listen, I said to somebody, they're going to go 3 and out on this opening drive. I just felt it because the defense on that, Josh Allen goes all the way down the field, and 4th down, they give it up. And I thought, boy, just typical Jags is to watch him go 3 and out. And they did. But didn't you know that as they came off the sideline, they had to say to one another, hey, we can't go 3 and out here.
Right.
We have got to slow this down. And we've got to give our defense a chance. And we've got to go put points on the board. And yet they went 3 and out. The resiliency on this football team is sorely lacking.
And you made the point earlier, Brian, on that drive after it's 13-0.
Yeah.
They're moving down the field. 14 plays on the drive, but it all kind of fell apart with the illegal formation.
But they still had 1st and 10.
Right.
Where was it? The 24. And, they give up a pressure, and it's a 1-yard gain to Farrell. And, I mean,
But that's the problem with this team, right? Like one setback, and it's all off the rails.
Right, exactly.
Right? I mean, last week you had the Dearness Johnson penalty. It was still 2nd and goal at the 7. Right. It wasn't like 4th and 20, and they just it's everything has to be perfect. Their margin for error is so slim that when they do put that drive together, if they make a mistake, they just can't overcome it.
Resiliency comes from within. It's on the players for resiliency. You don't coach resiliency. I mean, you teach them, but they have got to figure that out for themselves because they're in the huddle. I mean, they got to challenge one another. Hey, bro, you can't let that happen. Let's go.
And Doug knew it right away on the formation. I mean, he's like, hey, we talked about this. We can't do that. We saw him on the video today.
Yep.
You can't do that.
So is that you're not coaching it hard enough? You know what I mean? Like at a certain point, you drill it. They do it that way.
Right.
You go the whole week and you put them out there and they don't do it. Is that a failure of coaching? I'm not saying coaching is not a big part of this because you've got players that have had much better performances. You're not getting almost anything out of
it. It only goes so far, though. It goes to the sideline.
Absolutely.
You can't cross that white line.
You can't, but you can put your guys in a position to be more successful. Yeah. It's a little inexplicable right now how Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker are not having any more success that they're having at the moment.
It's more than a little inexplicable.
Right. And again, I'm not saying, it's not even like Buffalo's Josh Allen's an easy guy to get down. But it would have been one thing if we'd been in the vicinity 5 or 6 times. Right. Get a hand on him. Oh, but he's just too tough. We weren't anywhere near
one quarterback hit all night, and Mason Smith had it. And I don't know if it was even on Josh Allen. It might have been on Trubisky. I don't remember. I don't remember Josh Allen getting hit except when he ran the football.
Right. And he just take one piece. He's like, oh, okay.
We're
just going to open the middle wide open. Let me just call my number here and go for 13 yards.
Resiliency is my key word with this team this year because you guys know I beat that drum last year about the big games and they didn't show up and they didn't play well. San Francisco, Baltimore. I got to see a resilient football team. I've got to see them fight through some things.
Get the drum back out.
Hey, listen, it's coming. Yeah. If you are not ready to fight this week, I don't know what to tell you.
We said that this week.
We said that last week. It's your home opener. Where was the fight?
Well, you guys said it. I just said it now.
I mean, I wrote it in Osher's
We're agreeing,
what
but
are we doing?
It's a theme.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
you guys were resilient. You've been sitting in here all night.
You have no idea how resilient we've been in this room for a decade.
I have some admiration for that, yeah.
Oh, vey. Let's do it again next week. Jags-Texans.
Can we do a different version of it?
I hope so.
Yeah, let's do last year's version of it in Houston.
That'd be great. That would be really nice. Lots to get to this week. Jags tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So go home. That's Mike Dempsey. Jags AM at some point this week.
Yeah, we're taping that and Wired later today.
No happy hour. We'll be back for Huddle Up on Wednesday. That's Brian Sexton, Mike Dempsey. For our entire crew, I'm JP Shadrick saying good night. The fifth quarter is next. More of your calls. This has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.